First felt, top felt, it's very it's full of soot, it's black. Just trying to get a little soot off. Very light sanding. This is 400 paper. I'm just basically trying to get some soot off that. Very gentle. Just soot. When you get done with this, you should see black on the paper. None of the wood color, just the soot color. It should be noted that this is not an instructional video. I do not know what I'm doing. With no prior knowledge or experience, or even bothering to look anything up on the internet, I opened up a 123-year-old Baldwin piano, upright grand. Each key has 55 individual named pieces to it. This hammer probably has about 13 names on it. I have not bothered to learn them all. Again, the 400 paper, just very lightly removing soot from the unfinished areas of the wood. Parts of the hammer are finished already. They have a wood finish on them. They've been polished and stained color on purpose. Other parts are unfinished, and that's the only parts I'm touching with this stuff. When I get to the finished stuff, I will use 2000 sandpaper, which is slightly smoother than my fingertips. But for this unfinished stuff, I'm just being a little rougher on it with the 400. Aside from the felt, as we get down towards this end of the piece, there's also a couple pieces more felt and some leather, which I was very fortunate to see in this piano. The leather is not dried out at all. It's in excellent condition. If I had to replace that as well, then it would probably be prohibitive.
Who are you talking to?
My YouTube audience, honey. I'm doing
Are you talking to yourself or?
no,
Are
I'm
you
got my
serious?
camera.
I are
Yes,
doing
I'm
YouTube?
seriously doing a YouTube
Okay,
video
well, I'm
right
sorry I
now.
interrupted it.
Oh, that's okay. It's not, nobody important is going to watch it, I'm sure. I'm just sharing my idiocy with the world, because there's not enough idiocy in the world. Okay. Anyway, the whole point of removing these hammers from this whole array here was that they have a little strap called a bridle strap. When they're new, they look like this. It's a little piece of cloth with a little piece of leather glued to the end of it. It's got a little hole in it so that you can hook it over one of these little hooky things. But when the piano was first made, the bridle straps were shoved into the hole with this dowel right here. This has a hole in it. They put this dowel into that hole, and they put the bridle strap in there with it, with the glue. The bridle straps are the first things to go, and these are all 123 years old. There's nothing there, barely. They're dust. So, in order to work this whole thing, I've had to replace 88 bridle straps. on 88 keys. And it's a time-consuming process, especially when one has no idea what the hell they're doing. So this is I'm on key number, they are numbered, 21 now. So I've done from 88 down to 21. I've done a few keys now, and I feel like I know a little bit what I'm doing. I at least have a system for doing the keys, which is better than having to figure out each one as you go along. And having gotten all the unfinished wood with the 400, I'm now going to proceed to the 2000 and get the finished wood. The top of the hammer, this has all been finished with a very nice semi-gloss finish, and since this is barely rougher than my fingertips, I'm only removing the soot on it. And you can see it's black. I'm not going to get any wood color off with this because I don't want to get any wood color or stain or anything except the soot off. And that's about all it takes to do that. Gentle little movement. And you don't have to go with the grain or anything. You're not even getting down to the finish if you're doing it right. I think, I wouldn't know, I've never done this before, I don't know the vaguest clue. But it seems to me that if they went to all the trouble of putting a nice pretty finish on there, I should go to a little extra trouble to try and make sure it stays there. Same thing with the top of this here. That gets the 2000 grit treatment, as well as that, which is where the number is. These are all stamped with little numerals to tell you which key goes where. Can you see that? Maybe there, I don't know how to get focus. It's just a phone. But anyway, it says 21. I like to ink them in because these old eyes have difficulty sometimes seeing just the stamp in the wood. Of course, these old hands also have difficulty inking in something so tiny, but the groove of the stamp helps a little bit, and that makes it easier for me to be able to see which one I'm working on. Okay, 2 leather things. It's also going to get the 2000, very gentle. It's amazing that this leather is not desiccated. It hasn't dried out. It hasn't frayed or anything. It's in really nice shape. It hasn't even thinned out. This one has some dirt on it, but it's still nice and thick. If you look at it from the side, there's plenty of padding there. It hasn't been compressed unduly. And that just about concludes this hammer's cleaning. I'm going to give it a nice little wipe down there, just in case there's any dust on there. We don't want that. Also, these all have a little spring on them. Things are very delicate. They're 123 years old, just like everything else in there. I've broken at least one of them so far. I've replaced it with an old guitar string I had laying around. Seems to be working pretty well. But you do want to be careful with those because you're wearing gloves, because these things are filthy, dirty, nasty, sooty. And these catch on the gloves. They catch on everything, and trying to put it in there and take it out of there. You have to be very careful of these little things. So, especially around fabric, because they will catch on anything. And there we go. That's how long it takes me to do one of those. The next step is going to be to glue these right in where they would have been if they had been installed originally. So I've only got 20 more to do. That's it.